Okay. We'll give people a moment to get back on and view mine.
Do we have agendas for this?
Yeah, so it's on, oh, sorry, they're in the, when you first walk in, there's a packet. And the second piece on there, sorry. There's right there. So if you missed the packet, there you go. Okay, we're gonna, in a minute for people to text us with the Decennial.
The other meeting is still showing in progress, so it's not letting the other people back in.
Let's not,
I don't know if it was easy to hear you. I don't know if it was clear to people to go click on the second link.
well,
Well, I mean, it's already done now, but so I'm just, I wonder if you can make sure. that it's- I just texted her. She said that she could get in.
there's, okay, so this is the link, here's the data.
Oh, no, I see it visually, but I just, it was kind of, I don't know, it was a little muffled. I don't know if they heard you. I guess we'll see if they're enjoying. Can you email Debbie that second link from where you are?
Can anybody, sorry, I'm trying to. It's right on the website.
Can you see it? It's not on the calendar.
Yeah.
Where it is, there it is.
Yeah,
What's not on that?
I see it. Okay, so I see the first one. I only see the one Zoom link on the calendar. Is it inside the packet?
no, if you look in each, there's 3 different agendas, there's 3 different meetings and.
Well, maybe because I'm on my phone.
Anyway, Debbie. Okay, the good thing is there is a video of this. Okay, so we'll carry on and we're gonna move to the next meeting, which is the Lisle Township Decennial Committee.
Well, we kind of have to wait for her to join since she can take notes, so let's just make sure she's on.
So.
You just enter the link, so it's gonna take her a second, right?
All of which, just want to make sure that people are clear where things are on the website. So if you go on the home page, there's 3 different meetings with all the different links on each different part. And then if you go onto the news site, there's this meeting with all the different groups.
Oh, I believe it's all documented, but I don't know that people heard you say we're going into a new link.
Okay,
So I think
Well,
that might be
it's-
confusing.
a new meeting because this is again with the state of Illinois.
I'm not questioning why we're doing it. I'm letting you know, I don't know that people heard you.
Oh.
So just clarifying that it's hard to hear.
And here's Debbie. So we now can again call this meeting to order, this new one. And we'll start with in-person public comment. Or sorry, we'll start with roll call. And then after that, sorry. Okay, then, online public comment. Okay, then looking at this, public comment for the Decennial committee. We have 0 responses. Okay. Then Decennial committee public comment is called to end. We're gonna go to the Lisle Township to the third agenda item, which is discussion and possible action on future meeting dates. And this is the piece, sorry, I think this is hard to hear. Discussion in possible action on future meeting dates. Does anybody have some opinions about this to be? Here's my opinion to begin with, before we get too far off, and too far astray. It's gonna take about, I'd say 2.5, 3 months to get to what needs to happen at the next stage of these meetings, which is we're trying to get to a point where we're answering these questions specifically and putting most of this online as we're doing this. Okay, so as the state of Illinois gives as a guideline of what needs to be in the documents, we want to have all of this information aggregated and easy to view on our website. So the FOIA officer trained all of this that we're depicting. These are super straightforward, long-standing pieces that should be well understood as to what we're doing and how we're doing it from a governmental efficiency perspective. And I'm sure the highway commissioner is attending to do something very similar. This is what the township officials of Illinois are suggesting us as well to begin with. So it's gonna take some time to get all that aggregated. So again, I would suggest for some time and my suggestion is August. I'd rather do and have an understanding that we're gonna go back to the levy in September. So if we have a whole lot of strategizing and guessing in June and July from a timeline and board line perspective, and then in August, come back to the decennial after getting this information aggregated and disseminated.
Can we have the meeting the same evening as our regularly scheduled meeting?
Yes, and so if we're looking at August dead dates, then it would be ideally August 9th, and at 7 o'clock or 6:30, we could have a longer discussion. Or we could start at 7:30.
If we start at 7, will that be enough time before our 7:30 meetings would start, or can
I
we use
think-
at the end early?
I think we need to allow for at least an hour, ideally more like 2 hours, knowing. So,
Most people, well, that would put us coming here at 5 o'clock, and if we're working, that's difficult.
so I would also suggest then that we plan on a date that we can, that would be separate from a regular meeting. So if it's normally the 9th, I would suggest the 23rd of August. Okay, not
So
the
the
23rd.
challenges with that is we have our budget and personnel meetings too, so
The 23rd would be the 4th, and that would be the 7:08 board meeting evening anyway.
Okay, so any other suggestions? The 30th?
do you really anticipate it would take 2 hours?
Yes. If we were to actually have a conversation about these topics.
Do you think that it's valuable to have the meeting before our, like the week before, the week after, which would be more beneficial of our monthly meeting?
My guess is August tends to be a very busy month, and so August 2nd is probably before kids go back to school and before, while we're still in the summer. It might be easier than planning. So the week before the meeting might be easier then.
So then we would have an update to take to the regular scheduled meeting. then,
Correct.
right? Okay.
So does August 2nd sound like an agreed upon time?
Sure.
Okay, and then getting the next one in place,
What time are you looking at?
7:30 is our usual time, so is that okay to start at 7:30?
Or do we have to schedule these?
We don't have to schedule them all, but I would just like to get this year's decennial committees on the agenda.
All of 2023?
Yes, so if we have one more scheduled in December, or in November before the holidays, or in October.
I would recommend the beginning of November, not going into December.
So if we're gonna have a board meeting on the 8th of November, and so the 1st of November,
I guess.
the day of, okay, so we're gonna go with November 1st of 2023. Okay, wonderful. The next agenda item then is starting to talk about efficiencies and increased accountability. This is gonna be one of those pieces that I think is going to be helped with a help with our NIU governmental studies plans information. There's a variety of different pieces that I think can come into place with the audits that we're contemplating. Making sure that we're having the most amount of information that we can have to make the decisions that we're needing to make. Any other thoughts on this topic?
I guess I need a little more clarity on what you're saying, what you meaning by about efficiencies and increased accountability for who.
For the township. Meaning that, for example, efficiencies, when it comes to processes, one of the things that we've been working on internally is a variety of different ways that we can have processes that allow for the most time that we have, and the best usage of time on the various topics that we're trying to work on. Whether it's passports, whether it's scheduling our staff, we're trying to make sure that we have the understanding and the data that we need to make the decisions that we need to make with regards to the food pantry operations, to general assistance and senior services and volunteer engagement. All of those need data points, which you can get if we're working in an efficient way, such as like with EcoLane. One of the pieces that EcoLane really will help do is optimize routes. That's essentially what needs to be done with the services that we do.
So for the August meeting, something has to be done to put this in a format and collect information. Is that going to be township staff that does that or committee that does?
Yes, township staff that do this.
Okay.
So most of the stuff can be aggregated on our website. We're for example, working on different aspects of our website to make sure that, you know, these are highlighted and understood. So it'll be easy to, you will get a packet of information specifically for the next August 2nd meeting with all of this information starting to be aggregated so that you'll, as we're aggregating it, we'll give you this information so you can slowly educate yourself about what we're trying to do. We'll make sure that it's able to be essentially given out as we're collecting it so that you're not snowed in on a bunch of information. And all the park districts, so we're clear that this is not just townships that are doing this, park districts, library boards, school boards. I think it's school boards as well.
Yeah, the school boards have a different, there's slightly different thing.
So it's a statewide variety of different types of municipality, governmental entities. And it's making sure that essentially the taxpayers are getting the most bang for the buck, which is incredibly important. From a service perspective. Okay, then discussion and possible action on the next steps, and this is what we're trying to give you with next steps, is that you're going to get ongoing growing packet of information from the township. As to what we're doing and how we're doing with these options. As we're talking through things, one of the pieces that definitely needed to come to is the June 13th date of meeting together with the NIU group. Is that acceptable for that 5-hour date? So as we're looking at our calendars, are we board members going to be available for the Tuesday, June 13th?
No. I will be out of town that entire week.
Can you Zoom?
No, I can't actually. We have tickets for Broadway that night.
Okay, so we're gonna have to get together again with the NIU. Trying to get to the 6-hour time when the board has to agree to coming together. The May 13th or the May 23rd didn't work for them. Okay, so back to, as you know, there's essentially, this is the second aspect of working on our efficiencies as we've been working with NIU.
What were the hours again for the 13th?
It's 3:30 to 3:30 to 8:30.
What about the Tuesday before it?
They said they didn't have anything else in June, so if we could get a July date, that would be ideal. So we have to meet the 12th. Is there a July Tuesday night that works for you all? Not the 4th, so the 11th, the 18th, or the 25th, or are
The
we,
11th for me.
okay, the 18th,
18th is a Sunday?
it's a Tuesday, July
Oh,
18th,
July, sorry. Apologies.
Yeah, that's fine. with me.
What time are we talking about?
3:30 to 8:30,
Think I'm okay now.
July 18th.
I'll be out of
Hmm.
town. What could possibly?
Okay, so we're gonna aim for July 18th, it sounds like, correct? Trustee McCutcheon, does that sound, and trustee Geist?
Yes.
Okay. Making sure that that happens. Okay, then back to the timeline or discussion on next steps. Our next steps are to get you a packet of information and for us to continue discussing our short-term and our long-term plans with regards to service capacity and strategies of how we're changing and evolving and growing our services for the people of Lisle Township. Okay, wonderful. Then we can adjourn this meeting and move on to the next Decennial meeting.
Before we adjourn, I just wanted to let you know that the meeting packet was not in the board meetings under documents. That was completely empty. That's why I didn't know what the Zoom address was. I think I found it now under news, but there's nothing in there like click on agenda, click on board. No, go down the Decennial committee. There's nothing there. And then it's in your, yeah. And then the agenda is not there either. So I'm just saying that because there was somebody online prior who's not online now. So I'm just a little bit worried that they didn't see that either.
Okay, so everything is in the prime drive of the board packet. So if you look under Decennial committee
No,
information.
it wasn't. It
Okay.
wasn't earlier.
Okay, there, and so we can, again, if anybody wants to make a motion to adjourn,
Make a motion to adjourn the designated.
and then a second,
I'll second.
and any discussion? And a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Geist,
Yes.
trustee McGovern,
Yes.
trustee Page,
Yes.
trustee Robinson,
Yes.
supervisor Hewitt.
Yes. Thank you. We're gonna adjourn this meeting and move on to the next Decennial committee.
I guess that's mine.
Well, someone else will show.
I'll play with those. Trustee Page.
Hold on, I gotta get the online section going.
A whole new Zoom.
One.
So now we're off. Ah.